hello there. My name is Judy. I wanted to share a few tips to the caregivers of the world, which have a pretty hard job, because I'm a caregiver to my husband, which is 92 years old. And he is not an easy person to deal with, but I love him anyway. And I just have to work with him gently to get him to come around to my way of thinking on things. Especially exercise. I've been teaching aqua fitness and floor exercises classes for almost 24 years now. So I'm not a stranger to exercise. I've always loved it. I've always wanted to get more information on how to move the body and how to feel better and stronger and be the best that I can at this age of my life. And I'm a senior citizen as well, but I'm not as old as Grover. So I thought I would give you a few tips on what I do with Grover. In the morning, I get him up and I help him get dressed and I bathe him. And then we go out in the sunroom. That is like our den now. We have a walkout ranch. We used to go downstairs to our family room, but now we have a nice sunroom off the breakfast room. We go out there and then we can see the outside, and it's like going outside and doing our exercises. So the first thing we do, I sit him down, I get him a glass of water, give him a few pills. Are you ready, Grover? We're going to do some exercises. And at first it was like pulling teeth, and I just did a few every day, just a few, and I've added a few more. And then we were so fortunate when he had double pneumonia in November, and then a year before that he had double pneumonia with sepsis. We thought we were going to lose him. But then I had physical therapists that came to the house twice and occupational therapists twice. And then I got a lot of tips from them, and then I take the arthritis magazine. I was certified. We don't offer certifications anymore with arthritis, but I do know the basic exercises. And the key thing with arthritis is to move the joint, to move the muscles, to strengthen the muscles so the joints don't have to work so hard. So the first thing that we do, I'll say, okay, Grover, let's sit up tall. So he'll sit up pretty tall as he can. He has spinal stenosis. And then I'll say, okay, good posture. And then we'll look over our shoulder. Just stretch the neck and feel a nice stretch in the shoulder. And then we'll come back to center, and then we'll look over the other shoulder. And then we'll bring it back to center. And then we'll drop the chin to the chest. And then we'll feel a nice stretch in the neck and the upper back. Bring the head up, and we'll look up, but we don't want to look up too far because we don't want to stress out the neck. So we'll look up a little bit. Okay. And then we'll start warming up the upper body. And I'll go through those we'll do that about 3 or 4 times. We'll look over the neck again. And then we'll do about 3 or 4 sets of those. And then we'll look over the other shoulder. And then I'll add a few things to it. We'll look over the shoulder, and then we'll look a little further over that shoulder. And this really helps if you're still driving your car, because you know when you switch lanes, it can be crucial to make sure there's not a car in your blind spot. So, and then look over the shoulder again. Look a little further over that shoulder. Very good. All right. Now we'll pick up those shoulders and roll them back. We want to warm up those shoulders. We do some of those. And he usually has the TV on, but he has the sound turned off or turned down real low. So I'm used to sort of talking loud, and then when I teach my aqua fitness classes in the morning, I really talk loud. Because some of them want to talk, and I have to get over there talking and get their attention. So then they start paying attention to me after I scream at them. All right. Now, we're going to reach out, stretch out your upper body a little bit, and then we'll reach over. And if you have a shoulder issue, just reach over in front of your face. You don't have to reach over your head. And I know a lot of people, as we get older, we have shoulder problems. I have a tear in my rotor cuff, but I haven't had surgery. I hope to never have surgery. I have special exercises that I do for that. And I'm sure if you've had a tear in your shoulder, you will have special exercises to do. So I reach out and reach over. And like I said before, you can reach out in front of your face. That way you won't stress out your shoulder. And then I'll rest those arms a little bit and I'll do a few shoulder rolls. Just to get rid of any tension that's built up. Good. Now I'm going to work the hands a little bit. You know, a lot of times we have arthritic hands and our fingers are stiff. So this is a good arthritis exercise that I've always done for my classes. And I start out by taking the tip of each finger to the thumb. And just to help the circulation is the main thing. And I try to encourage people not to eat a lot of sugar and not to eat a lot of white flour. Our flour is processed so much now, it takes out a lot of the important vitamins and nutrients, so we really aren't getting a lot out of it. Good. And then my arms are down by my side and I'll just wave out. Usually if I'm doing a class, I'll say, wave out to your neighbors, wave to your neighbors. And if we're in the pool, I'll say, wave out to those microscopic fish. Okay? And then we'll change the direction. We'll wave out to the front. Good. And then we'll wave out and back. And then I'll say, Drover, slide out in the chair a little bit. And then we'll take our knee and see if we can pull it up to our chest. Or not to your chest, but toward the chest. We'll pull it in and you'll feel a nice stretch in your back and your hip. And you're actually doing some abdominal work. Okay, and then we'll drop that foot down, we'll pick up the other foot. We'll pull it in. Very good. All right, and then we'll bring the knee up, hold out the arms. We'll try to make it a little bit harder and try to circle that foot. Circle your ankle. And that way you're working the quadricep muscle as well. And you're getting some mobility in your ankle, and then reverse it. All right, drop that foot down, lift the other knee up. Do the same thing with the arms out to the side. Circle the ankle. Good, and reverse it. All right. Now I'm going to scoot out to the front of the chair and then I'm just going to stretch out my leg. And we always tend to be a little tight in the back of our legs. So I'm going to stretch out my leg and have my heel on the floor and I'm going to pull my toes back hard toward me. That's it. Just hold that for a little bit. Feels really good to the back of the leg. And if you can't get your foot all the way out there, you can do it. We all have a different range of motion. You can do it however you want, but just sort of straighten that leg. And then we'll do the other leg. Of course, I exercise all the time, so I do have, my range of motion is pretty good. I do yoga as well. Another thing I wanted to share, one of the most important things for people as they get older is to learn how to get up and down out of a chair. And, you know, it's so important, too, when you go to the restroom to be able to sit down and get up. And we have a grab bar in our bathroom, and that helps. But we do 10 of these every day. And I always make sure my husband has his walker in front of him before we do these. A lot of times when you stand up, you can lose your balance. So make sure you have something in front of you that you can grab that you won't fall. So what we do, we take our hands, place it on the chair, and then you can push off and stand up. That's it. And then we'll sit back down and you want to make sure, reach back and make sure there's a chair there, that it hasn't moved. from the time you stood up to the time you sit down. Okay, let's do that again. Stand up. Very good. All right, and sit down. I know these seem very elementary, but they're very important and they're good exercises. Okay, and then stand up and sit down. So we go through those till we do about 10. Actually, we do 5 in the morning and we do 5 at night. Because when he does 10, it makes him a little tired. I don't want him to get tired and then discouraged, because when you're discouraged, you won't stick with it. So I try to make everything, add a little fun into it. We chat along. We don't make it so serious, but we try to get through the exercises the best we can. And then we do a lot of deep breathing. We inhale up. And that's another really major thing that we need to do as we grow older, is to learn how to breathe deeply. Breathe very deeply into the lower part of your lungs, because we collect, it's sort of a waste area in the lower part of our lungs. And if we don't breathe deep enough, things can start growing, then we'll get sick, and bronchitis, pneumonia, you name it. And then we'll just inhale up and exhale. And then we'll just, let's do a little deep breathing just on our own. Okay, here we go. Nice deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath. Try to hold it for 8. Slowly exhale, pursing your lips, like you're blowing through a straw. Very good. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale. I might not be counting exactly 8, but on your own, try to do that, and that's going to build up your lung capacity, make your lungs stronger, make you get stuff out of your lungs. So inhale for 8. Big breath. Hold that breath. Exhale, pursing your lips. The reason I want you to make it like you're blowing through a straw is because when you don't do that, the air comes out so fast. And the exercise, if you blow out very slowly, the lungs are going to get stronger. So that is very important to do that in that fashion. And we'll reach over and stretch. We'll try to hold the stretches for about 5 seconds. And then we'll do the other side. Good. And then again. And then again. Good. All right. And then we'll round out the back, make a C with your back. You might have to scoot out from the back of the chair to get this right. And then flatten the back, pull the elbows back, stick out your chest. And then round out the back and flatten it. Very good. All right, well, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you try some of these exercises, and don't forget, pull the stomach in and release, and pull it in and release. Do some of those, your deep breathing, and pick the knee up, rotate the ankle. Those are some. The shoulder rolls, looking over your shoulder, and then looking over the other shoulder. And then when you get used to that, you can look a little bit further. A little bit further. If we don't use those muscles, they won't work for us. So we have to do something every day to make those muscles work. Thank you, and have a great day.